Don't they have any goalkeeping coaches at Pompey then? Is it just he just does the same training as everyone else?
I think what they do is he turns up a little bit early, and one of the dads kicks some balls at him before kick-off, and
then they do the one where they pass it into the coach and he plays it back and they have a shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go with another It's My Goal with myself, Dan, and no, not myself, Dan.
And me, Mike.
and him, Mike. Mike and Dan. Yes, good start. Good way to start.
Yeah.
The podcast. We would put it out into the bloopers, but I can't really be bothered to go back and start again. So we'll continue.
Nobody watches the real thing. Let alone the bloopers.
Yeah. So this is Eat My Goal. We are the only podcast that talks Portsmouth and the Premier League. So there we go. There's a little claim to fame. And this week, episode 11, we're going to change things around a little bit. We're going to talk more Portsmouth. We're going to talk more about Portsmouth nowadays rather than Premier League Portsmouth. And we're going to round off with a little Premier League chatty chat. In between, we will have our all-time Premier League non-British or Irish team. This week, we're talking right backs. And we'll have our quiz. Are you leading 4-2 or is it still 3-2? I forget.
No, it's definitely 4-2, yeah.
Okay. I didn't think you'd forget. All right, okay. So let's crack on. How are you, Dan? You good?
I'm very well, thank you.
Excellent, good. So let's start off. We're going to start off with reviewing the game from last week. Portsmouth Hereford, FA Cup, first round. How was it for you?
Well, I was lucky enough to only see the second half.
Yeah, you were lucky.
Yeah, and yeah, it was pretty boring, wasn't it? But they just they just came out and kept the ball for most of the second half, didn't they? Which is apparently what they should have done in the first half. But the first half was really poor, wasn't it? Apparently,
it wasn't great. I wouldn't say it was really poor. I just think it was just a typical Portsmouth over the last last 6 weeks or so. Just dull, really, just dull.
Yeah.
Just kind of passy, misplaced pass, sit back, have a little bit of a worrying moment, and then just didn't really do anything in the final third. As per usual.
Did Peter Storey deserve the man of the match?
First half, I thought he was decent. I didn't really. I assumed he'd gone off at half time until about 75 minutes because he didn't really do anything second half.
It was Peter Storey, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think it was Peter Storey. Yeah. They kept saying ex Portsmouth Story, so I assume it was Peter Storey.
Yeah.
No, I thought first half he did look very lively. Clearly was out to prove a point. Took his goal very well.
Yeah.
Poor goal to concede, obviously, from Portsmouth's point of view. Just kind of bearing in mind. Yeah, you're right.
It's late, isn't it?
It is late.
Yeah.
8:45. It is 8:45. You're right. Yeah, no, he took his goal very well, and I thought he was a little bit of a nuisance that first half. But to the 90 minutes, I don't think so. I don't think he was the best player on the pitch.
No.
I would say probably Morton Hackett.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's good to have Lowry back, I think.
Yes. Yeah, that's
made a
definite
when he came on.
Highlight from my point of view. It just makes such a difference, doesn't he? Just he seems to just make the players around him look better, which is what you want from a centre midfielder. So yeah, I even wonder whether Pack's a much better player with. Well, I don't wonder. You can see that Pack's clearly a much better player because I don't think Tunnicliffe had a bad game all round. Didn't have an exceptional game, but just suddenly looked so much more assured when Lowry came on. Just covers so much ground. So yeah, very big positive, I think, having him back.
Yeah,
which was nice, and hopefully he's remained fit for this weekend.
Did you see the draw for the second round? The exciting.
Yeah, well, the Twitter was going mental. The fans are well up for that by the looks of Twitter.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
No, really not. Of both sides, to be fair, both sides are pretty much saying that pretty much they're into the next round, and also it'll be a dull game. Look forward to that. I don't imagine that one will be on the BBC.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. So hopefully we'll get a nice big. What do we want? Away game, home game in the third round, or am I jumping the gun?
I think on current form we are jumping, but let's jump. Yeah, you obviously want a home game against the Prem side, don't you? A top Prem side, not like. Not like a Bournemouth or
No. Well, I'm trying to think. We haven't played. We've never played Man City since they've been good. I don't think we haven't played Liverpool since they've been good. Yeah, no, we're not going to win it. Of course, we're not going to win.
No,
but it'd be nice to have.
You get destroyed though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, but it'd be nice to watch.
It'd be nice to watch.
Nice to watch the lads get demoralised.
Yeah. Be nice to watch that record-breaking game.
Yeah,
Not that if we drew a City, even at home, I don't think they'd play obviously the top their full side, but even then, it would be a very demoralising defeat, I think, against the likes of City, wouldn't it?
But then, if you're going to play anyone from the Premiership, you might as well play. Sorry, the Premier League, as you keep telling me off. You might as well play. You might as well play the top teams, don't you? Because even if we do play Wolves or Forest, Bournemouth, any of those sort of teams, they'll still probably beat us. So
yeah, I'd like to play a team whereby where not necessarily whether we could beat, but we could maybe get a decent result against, like a top side. And I think the top sides you could potentially get a result against are possibly Liverpool at the moment. I think depending on how they turn up, you could on what if they turn up, they could smash us. But I think on other days we could maybe get a narrow defeat, possibly a draw against Liverpool, taken back to Anfield. I think on an off day you could beat Man United, or you could do something against, maybe get a draw against Man United. I think they're there for the taking. Those top sides. I think a West Ham are there for the taking at the moment.
Yeah, but then
they'll play a slightly weaker side, and then those players that come in, the likes of the Van der Beeks and for Man United and Liverpool's kind of outside of their first 11.
Yeah.
I don't think they're all that.
So you can see someone like Josh Koroma running the Liverpool defence ragged. Can you?
Yeah, all right. I see your point. You've unpicked
Just on that fire, haven't I? Yeah.
You've unpicked my plan there. Yeah, okay. Right. Maybe we'll just take a top team and hope for the best. Hope for the attendance. Go for the attendance.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. There's our cup run. It's a
Solid.
week. It's when is it? Weekend of the 25th, I think, is when we're playing that against the Milton Keynes Dons. That'll be exciting. So anyway, our next game is against. Will you? No.
No, I was saying over there. I was pointing towards the couch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You'll be in the kitchen. You'll be in the kitchen. Will you be at Morecombe this weekend?
Yeah.
Will you? Well, have you ever been to Morecombe?
No.
No. Do you ever have any desire to ever go to Morecombe? I must admit, it's not one of those places that I think, even for a game of football,
no,
I don't ever think, so well, I'd like to go this weekend.
Yeah. Do you know it would be a really good game? That Pompey Morecombe one. That would be a good game.
That would be a good game.
Yeah.
That would. I'd love to travel.
Yeah.
Love to travel that distance. We're not massive away fans, to be fair. In fact, we're barely fans, full stop, are we? Let's be honest. But yeah, fair play to people who do that. But I've got better things to do on a Saturday than do a 700-mile round trip to Morecombe.
Yeah. But you are doing a Pompey podcast, Mike. So.
Oh yeah. I suppose yeah. But home games fine. Away games. I know we get torn apart for that because we're all fans, but.
So what we got then is Pack back.
He's on back.
His way, isn't he?
He's in training. Whether he's back or not this weekend, I'm not 100% sure. But he is on the grass, as Danny likes to say. He's on the grass. He's out on the grass. Yeah, he's out on the grass. Yeah, so Pack potentially could be back. Larry is looking good for a potential start.
Yeah.
Whilst we're on the topic of team news, what's your thoughts on a potential recall by Blackpool of Owen Dale?
Yeah, I saw that
around the papers today. By the papers, I mean the news.
Yeah, I saw that. It'd be a shame. I think he's looked pretty good most of the time. He's certainly 100% effort, isn't he? Even when it's not going, even when his final product isn't working, he'll still give it a go, which is what I like about him. So yeah, I think it'd be a shame if he goes back.
Pompey fans love someone who puts in the effort, don't they? I must admit, for me, I do think his final ball could be a lot better.
Yeah,
I think he does tend to not where he could do getting the ball in a lot quicker. But hey, we'll see. I don't necessarily think he will go back. I think it'd just be one of those things whereby just because he wasn't allowed to play against Hereford, people are reading too much into it, possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
He's hardly tearing up League One, so I can't see why he would be tearing up the Championship, to be fair.
No. But
We shall see. Anyway, so Morecombe head-to-head. Do you know what our head-to-head is against Morecombe? We've played 11. How many of those 11 do you think we've won?
We have won 4.
Oh, we won 3. Close.
Oh,
Drawn 5, lost 2. Against last season at Morecombe was a 1-1 draw. At Prem Park, it was a 2-0 victory.
Yeah.
Now, here you go. This is current form, right? Current form, Morecombe currently in 22nd in the league. Their current form, last 6 games, they have won 1, drawn 3, lost 2, goal difference -1. Portsmouth have won 1, drawn 3, lost 2, goal difference -3. Oh, it just stinks of another draw, doesn't it? It stinks of another draw.
Yeah.
Morecombe currently 22nd in the league, only won 2 all season.
The final score at the Morecombe ground is Morecombe 0, Portsmouth 0.
And
I think that's what it's
people
called.
would have travelled 700 piles. 700 piles. They have piles from travelling 700 miles for that. Yeah, I think it is called the Morecombe ground.
Yeah, Morecombe Road.
I'm trying to think of a pun on Morecombe and Wise. But
let's be positive and hope that we've got Pack back and Lowry back, because they certainly make the difference. And then what else do we got? Dale, if he's still there. Dale one side. Who's on the other side then?
Well, do you play Caroma or do you play Curtis? Who would you play? It's an embarrassment of riches, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the who's got the slightly worst attitude out of the two. Tough.
Well, Curtis apparently is always up for it. So
is he? Okay.
Yeah, always up for it. Always up for a fight. Not so sure about a game of football, but he's always up for a fight.
Yeah, always looks happy. Always looks happy, Curtis.
Yeah, he seems like an angry young man, doesn't he?
Yeah, nice big smile on his face when he plays. What I like to see.
I would currently go with Curtis just ahead of Caroma personally.
Yeah, I think.
And do you know what? I would like to see Piggott start. I know Scarlett's got lots of potential and all that, and I'm sure he could be a fantastic player. I just don't think he is suited to this level.
No,
and he certainly doesn't have a good fluid partnership with Bishop. Not saying that Piggott currently does, but not really been tried that much, has it? I think what Scarlett gives you is pace, but I think it's often wasted. He tries to do too much. I think he isn't really at the moment physical enough for this league. So
yeah, I agree. I'd like to see Scarlett making more runs off the ball as well. He seems quite static, and I don't. And also, we started the season with Bishop and Piggott, didn't we?
Yes, yeah. And it seemed to work quite well, didn't it? We seemed to win a few games back then. So hopefully, Swanson's doing well. How do you feel, before we move on, how do you feel about Griffiths? How do you feel about the reaction to Griffiths and the kind of, not abuse, I don't think it's abuse as such, but I think it's kind of a lot of people on his back.
Well, I don't think has he done anything? I mean, people are saying, oh yeah, he needs to come off his line, he needs to do this, needs to do that, but I haven't seen him make any horrendous mistakes. And I think somebody made a good point the other day that what you're comparing him to Bazunu, which was basically the person who had the most touches for us last season, where we were constantly going back to Bazunu and every attack was starting from him playing the ball out. And somebody was saying, oh yeah, Griffiths isn't that good at passing the ball. Well, that's because you're comparing him against what's now a Premier League goalie. So, well, he was a Premier League goalie anyway, wasn't he? But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why he's been. It's just an easy target, I think, isn't it? As soon as the defeats start coming in, it's who can we blame the keeper? That'll do.
Yeah,
he's only young.
I think that's the thing. He is only young.
Yeah.
He's only young. I saw something the other day. I can't remember what was on it, but someone was saying it's potentially down to the coaching. It should be down to the coaching rather than actually a player himself. Okay. I don't know. I'm not that advanced technically from that point of view. But like you say, I don't think he's done anything massively wrong.
Don't they have any goalkeeping coaches at Pompey then? Is it just he just does the same training as everyone else?
I think what they do is he turns up a little bit early, and one of the dads kicks some balls at him before kick-off, and that's about
and then they do the one where they pass it into the coach and he plays it back and they have a shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
whole team do that.
Do some crosses.
Yeah. And you say, go and warm up, lads. They just all stand around firing balls at the goalkeeper. He's like,
yeah.
All right, lads, stop it.
Yeah.
I think that's what they do. That's the coaching. And if that's the case, you can understand their criticism.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what happens. I'm pretty sure that's not what happens.
Okay, fair enough. Now, so we may return to Portsmouth a little bit later in the show, but for now we're going to move on a little bit. Normally at this stage we're going to pick up some tweets in the future episodes. So tweet watch. We don't get any tweets. Nobody tweets us. But if you want to tweet us, it's at EatMyGoal22 on Twitter. So please do. But we don't. So we're going to pick up on other Pompey tweets and comment on those moving forward. So beware, Pompey fans. Deadly Dan will be tearing you apart. But what we are going to do is we're going to talk about our all-time Premier League 11, which is non-English and British and Irish.
Can I do my iconic moment? Or
you can. No. Do you know what? I actually had that right at the very beginning. I skipped straight past it. So let's do your iconic moment. And how has that changed, Dan? We were doing Premier League, but now we're doing...
Only if you don't mind, you know what I mean? If you don't mind me squeezing my iconic moment in.
Please do. I did mean to do it, but at the very beginning, apologies.
So what we've decided is, because we're trying to move away from too much Premier League stuff and going down the Pompey route, I was going to pick an iconic moment from Pompey's past, present, not future. And what I've picked this week is going to be this, and it's more of an iconic time rather than one single moment, and it is this. Oh,
there he is.
There he is.
Soccer sex god, Robert Prosinecki.
So for those of you who don't know, this is Robert Prosinecki, who joined Pompey amazingly in the summer of 2001 and would you say, well, would I even say he's the best player I ever saw in a Pompey shirt in my time? I think he could be. I think he's up there.
I think certainly non-Premier League era, he's definitely, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. He was just different gravy, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. One season, so he played 34 games, scored 9 goals. He played more times for Pompey than he did for Barcelona.
Did he really?
Yeah. And I actually... His most famous game was the game where he scored a hat-trick against Barnsley, if you remember.
Was that the 4-4?
And we ended up drawing 4-4, and I thought I'd look up some information on it, right?
Okay.
And I found this thing where it's a Portsmouth News article.
Okay.
Right? And the headline is, ex-Barcelona and Real Madrid star Prosinecki, and then in quotes, I scored my only career hat-trick at Portsmouth against Barnsley, and it was for nothing. Right, so this is coming from the mouth of Prosinecki, right?
Oh yeah.
So that was his only ever career hat trick, by the way, that he did for Pompey. And this was an interview that apparently in 2015 he did with Played Up Pompey, and these are all these are genuine quotes from Prosinecki, right?
Okay.
And I was reading it and I was thinking, you didn't fucking say that at all, did you? You did not say that at all. So this is what he said. So I'll read it to you. He said, football took me to Barcelona, Real Madrid, Red Star Belgrade, as well as the World Cup finals 3 times. Yet it was Fratton Park which stayed the only hat trick, the only hat trick of my playing career, Prosinecki told Played Up Pompey. I had scored 2 goals in a game plenty of times, but never 3 until Barnsley. It would also prove to be the final occasion I achieved it before my retirement. And then he goes on to say, I really enjoyed my year. Yeah, I really enjoyed my year with the Blues, and I felt I had a very good relationship with those noisy supporters. I can still hear them now singing Play Up Pompey. Right? And then it says, this is where it gets, coming into that Barnsley game. So that's a common Croatian phrase, isn't it? Coming into that Barnsley game, I had scored in successive matches, a 3-2 defeat at home to Wolves and a late winner in a 1-0 victory at Nottingham Forest. So he knew all the stats. And then, this is a quote, then it was on to the Tykes and a fixture during which I would score a hat-trick from nothing. So you're telling me he fucking knows Barnsley's nickname, does he? It would just take 4 minutes for us to break the deadlock. Courtney Pitt being fouled, and I sent Kevin Miller the wrong way from the penalty spot. Fuck off, mate. So you're telling me, one, you know Barnsley's nickname. Two, you know who the
keeper was.
Yeah. And then it just goes on and on like that. And I thought, well, that's a typical Portsmouth news.
What an incredible memory he has, though.
Yeah, yeah.
To remember all the stats and all the players that were in that Barnsley lineup. Because obviously, imagine most footballers, especially when they drop down to the lower leagues towards the end of their career, I imagine they remember all those players that they played against.
Yeah. Kevin Miller, the Barnsley goalie. But anyway, do you know who the Pompey manager was at the time?
Yeah, well, I think I do. Was it Graham Rex?
Yes, with his packet of sweets and his cheeky smile. But yeah, so I don't know whether you ever. I often, and this is actually true. I often go and have a look at Prozanecki videos of when he played at Pompey, and there's that video. I can't remember who it was against now. Is it Watford?
Yeah, I think it was the Watford. I remember the Watford game. Yeah.
Basically, that same bit of skill. Even Gary O'Neill was reading an interview with him, and he was talking about that same bit of skill that he used to do. He said when Prozanecki first turned up, he was like, "This guy's awful. He's not doing anything," until he actually started training. And he said, and he would just do that drag and just make the whole team go one way. And he said basically he never used to say much to us other than just to call us all rubbish.
Oh, really?
But yeah, if you get a chance, have a look at that video, just where he puts the bloke on his arse, doesn't he? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Was it Watford or was it?
I'm pretty sure it was Watford.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was Watford. I just remember him doing it with the same bloke several times, wasn't it?
Yeah, until the bloke fell over in the end, didn't he?
But yeah, he was quality that season, and he was, if I remember rightly, wasn't he the main contributor towards Crouch's, the majority of Crouch's goals that season?
I think so. Yeah.
Crouch was pretty decent that year as well. And in fact, even Birchall I thought was decent that season, but mainly down to having a world class.
Yeah.
Somewhat. He wasn't even that old, was he? About 32, I think.
Something like that, but
I think it's the 50 fags a day that was slowing him down.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Okay, so from one piece of history to another. I love the fact that he keeps looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Almost in a menacing sort of way.
Hey, did I tell you about the time we played the Tykes?
Hey, is that Kevin Miller over there, the ex-Barnsley goalkeeper that has scored a hat-trick against? He looks puzzled, doesn't he? It looks like he almost looks as if he's going, where am I? I thought he said Porto. I thought he said I'm going to Porto. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. It's Premier League right backs.
Oh yeah.
Have you brought your two along?
Well, this was slim pickings, wasn't it?
It was surprisingly actually. When I looked up the stats of, I'd shortlisted 4, and 2 of them. Well, no, one of them I've definitely ruled out just due to lack of stats.
I know. Well,
lack of anything. But I've narrowed it down to 2.
I've got 3, but I think we'll possibly have the same again. So I'll let you go first if you like this week.
Okay, well, the one that I ruled out was the French fullback Kieran Trippier. You've got him, have you?
No, I haven't got him. No.
Yeah, no, I ruled him out, but I think that's how Lee Dixon says it anyway. But yeah, so the one I actually ruled out was Lauren, and the reason why I ruled him out is because he was so packed for Pompey that season. However, he did have decent stats for Arsenal. Yeah,
well, he was my third. He's my third on the list. And did you know that? Because you know how I like my stats.
Yeah.
184 appearances in the Prem.
Yeah.
62.5% win rate. He won 115 of those games out of 184, and that included Pompey as well.
That is phenomenal. That is a phenomenal win rate. I've narrowed it down to 2. One is current, one is former.
All right.
So I'll go with the former first, who is Pablo Zabaleta. Obviously, ex-Man City. I think he played for West Ham as well, didn't he? Did he play for West Ham for a little bit? Yeah. 303 appearances, 9 goals, 21, 86 clean sheets. Most importantly, 2 titles.
Yeah. And a 51.2% win rate.
And my current is, and I'm saying he is a fullback. Some might say he's not. Some might say he's a wing back. Some might say he's a right-sided centre back. But I'm going to go with a fullback, and it's Cesar Azpilicueta.
Yeah, I thought you
3-3-3, 10 goals, 35 assists, 15 clean sheets, 115. What am I talking about? And 2 titles in his many years at the Chelsea.
Yes, yeah,
I had shortlisted Dan Petrescu as well, but instantly ruled him out with 0 titles. I forgot he was pre-Abramovich era, but anyway, he's out.
All right, I thought you were taking the piss when you said Dan Petrescu. But yeah, I've got Zabaleta, and I haven't got Azpilicueta. I was going to, but I just didn't. And the other one I went for was Ivanovic.
Ivanovic is a good shout, actually. What's his stats?
He's got 274 appearances, 56.5% win rate, 22 goals, which is really good for a fullback. And yeah, that was it. I haven't got his. He won a couple of titles, didn't he? So
he won a couple of titles.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good shout, actually.
So shall we rule out Lauren? Just
yeah. Oh,
he's
for
got
sure.
some really good stats, though, hasn't he? But yeah, I just thought I didn't, even when he played for Pompey, I wasn't overly. I didn't think he was. He wasn't one of those players that I thought, wow, you can tell he's come from an Arsenal. He looks so much better than what we've got. I just, it was just average, really. But yeah, I mean, I'd be leaning towards Zabaleta myself.
Well, the fact that both of us picked a Zabaleta, I think, would suggest that maybe we should. But I think Ivanovic is a good shout. Actually, I don't know why he didn't even come up in my reckoning at all. But I think you're right. I think the fact that we both picked him, suggests that maybe. But okay.
No, we're not tossing a coin again, are we?
No, we haven't got a 3-sided coin, have we? How many goals did Ivanovic get? 25. 22.
One every 10, just under 10, get one every 11-ish games. No, that's not right, is it?
Do you know what? I'm going to throw the hat in Zabaleta, and I'll tell you why. Because he was one of those players that was quality when Man City were emerging. I know Man City were obviously spent a lot of money, but they were emerging. They weren't the team they are now, which is kind of like a well-oiled machine, isn't it? They were emerging. He was under Mancini, I believe, initially, maybe even Mark Hughes. They weren't great initially, but they were good, but they weren't great. They're spending a lot of money, but not really gelling in the way that they do now. Whereas I think Ivanovic was part of the merry-go-round of managers, but generally they were, top managers, weren't they? And Chelsea were always up there, whereas City were on the up. And he was part of the first. Was he part of the City won the first title 10 years ago? I think he was. 08,
09 was when he started playing for him.
Yeah, so he was. Yeah. So that would be my choice. But you happy with that?
Yep. Stick him in.
Okay. He's booked in. Zabaleta is in.
Pablo. That's his keeper screaming at him. Fucking Zabby!
Zabby! Fuck, man.
For those of you who didn't listen last week, which is everyone, our keeper is Peter Schmeichel.
Narrow, that wasn't it? It was narrow. We had to flip a coin between him and Petr Cech, but it's Schmeichel. Okay, right, quiz. You got your quiz ready? Let's do the quiz.
How we doing
so
this?
By the way, next week, left backs, yeah? I've already done my research on left backs, so I accidentally did that thinking we were doing left backs this week. But so I've got my shortlist.
Go on, give me a name. No, don't give me a name.
No, I can't influence your. There's a standout choice. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Gal Clichy. Yeah.
He's one of the names I've got listed down here. Actually, I've got 5 listed down. I'm going to shortlist it down to 2 before next week. Anywho, right. So quiz.
Yeah.
So the way the quiz works is we've got 5 questions each. You have 5 seconds to answer the question from the time the question ends. If you don't answer in the time, you lose that point. Person with the most points gets the prize. Dan leads 4-2.
Yep.
I need this one to get back in the game. I'm not feeling
You'll be all right
confident.
this week. You will be all right. So how are we doing this 5 seconds thing? Do I have to stick my?
No, it's just you have to do it mentally, a little bit like the old Pop Master.
5 seconds as well.
4, and maybe we should do it just to make the tension a little bit more, so it's more annoying.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I will read the question, and then I'll immediately after I've read the question, I'll go 5, 4, 3.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I plan on doing.
Right. So I'll read to you first. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Got,
Is there a theme to your questions?
No, they're just
Okay.
5 general Premier League questions.
Ace. Okay. Here we go.
Now,
Right.
I'm wanting you to score 3 out of 5 here. Okay. At
Yep.
least.
I'm up for it.
Are you
Let's do it.
ready?
Yep.
Question number 1.
Yes.
Which 2 teams played in the first televised Premier League game on Sky?
Oh my God. Man United and Sheffield United.
Time's up. It was Nottingham Forest and Liverpool. Do you remember?
That's it.
Sheringham scored?
I don't. No.
No? Okay,
No.
sorry. Right, I'm hoping for you to get 2 out of 5 here, Mike.
Pardon me. Pardon me.
Right, here we go.
Oh, was that one of the ones I was supposed to get?
I thought you might do, yeah, right. Ready? Question 2. Which African has made the most Premier League appearances with 353?
Oh, Didier Drogba.
Time's up. Is that your answer?
It's going to have to be.
It's Colo Torre. Come on.
Really?
You to get 1 out of 5 here. Right. Oh no, this one, no chance, mate. Right, here we go. Right. Question number 3. You probably know that Teddy Sheringham is the oldest player to have scored a Premier League goal.
Oh, I did know that. Yes, correct.
But
Yes.
who is the second oldest?
Oh,
starting from now.
Gareth Barry. Oh, Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs.
Time's up. I think Ryan Giggs is 3rd on the list, unfortunately. Second, we could probably sit here all night and you would never name Dean Windass.
Dean Windass.
Right, there we go. This is it. You're back in it on this one. Ready?
Okay.
Question 4. This is it.
Back in it. So
You
far,
are.
0. Yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
Which player has scored the quickest Premier League goal?
I can't even think of a name, Mane.
It was Shane Long, scum along, wasn't it? 7 seconds, a couple of seasons ago against Watford, or wherever it was. Right then.
Doing all right here, aren't I?
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Last question.
Mm-hmm.
Portsmouth played 266 games in the Premier League. I'll give you 2 either way. No, in fact, I'll give you 3 either way. How many Premier League games did they win out of those 266?
266. Okay. 3 either way. Okay. 89.
Do you know what, Mike? You're 10 out. It's 79. Well,
Half point.
yeah, go on then. That was a massive anticlimax, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I did really well there.
Yeah.
Top of my game. Right, so you need 1 to win.
Okay.
So mine is themed. I've got a theme for my year, and I now know you're going to get at least 1. Jesus, where you're possibly going to get 3, if not all 5. You could get all 5, but you're definitely going to get at least 1.
Come on.
So my theme is Portsmouth's last season in the Premier League was the 09-10 season.
Oh, see, now you think, but I'm going to be useless at this. I'm going to be useless.
The questions are all based around the 09-10 season. You could win it with the first question. Can you tell me who was the Premier League top scorer that year?
09-10. Where's Defoe? No, that's horrendous. I don't know. Rooney.
Rooney was the second top scorer with 26 goals. The top scorer was DDA with 29 goals. DDA. Drogba. Okay. Question 2. I'm still in the game. I'm loving this.
Yeah.
Question 2. Can you name the first Premier League manager to be sacked that season? 09-10. 5, 4.
No.
3.
No.
2. 1.
Very Redknapp.
No. Oh. It was Paul Hart of Portsmouth Football Club. To be replaced by Avram Grant.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 3, still in it. Chelsea won the league that season. Manchester United came second and Arsenal third. But can you tell me who claimed the final Champions League slot? 5, 4, 3
Tottenham.
is correct.
Yeah, was it the famous one where they beat City? Was it? Was it that one?
Oh, I don't know. Didn't look into it.
Where Crouch scored it.
Oh, quite possibly. Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You got your win. You might as well do the final two anyway. I'm sure you'll expand on your 2 points, your 1 point so far. But here we go. So, who was Portsmouth's club captain of that season?
Oh, come on. 09-10. 09-10. Do you know, I just can't think of any players that are around. Defoe. Oh, no, David James.
Is correct.
Yay.
And then finally, Portsmouth were relegated bottom of the league, having had 9 points deducted. Can you name me? In fact, I'm going to go with both, seeing as you asked for both on the first question. But can you name the other 2 teams that were relegated along with Portsmouth?
Let's go with someone like Wigan, Birmingham.
He's going to keep on guessing.
Hull.
Go on.
Hull. Yeah, Hull.
Oh, yeah. Hull was 1. 2-1.
Is that right? Is it Hull?
Hull was correct, yeah.
I know I'm out of time, but
go on.
I'll say
You were close with Wigan.
What, in that begins with W?
No, as in geographically.
Oh, good. I'm no good at geography. So in that case, who lives near Wigan? Leeds. Don't know.
Burnley.
Oh, really?
Burnley and Hull. You get half point for Hull, 2.5 points. You have a lead of 5-2.
Yay!
We were terrible at that quiz. Well, we weren't.
Wow,
you weren't terrible. I was terrible, but all right, we're going to stick with that format.
I think we should, but yeah, I think we just need to just try and answer the
Try and
questions.
improve our football knowledge.
I was even going to go things like who scored the first Premier League goal to start off with, just as a.
Well, see, I knew that one. That's why I went with Sheffield United against Man United.
And I thought, well, no, he knows that one, so I thought I'll ask him some others that he's bound to get. And then I thought, when I stuck the player with the quickest Premier League goal in, I thought, yeah, he'll know that because he knows things like James Vaughan being the youngest scorer, so he's bound to know who.
Yeah, I know that via Wikipedia, though. I don't know when I'm put under pressure. Well, speaking of Southampton, let's talk about the Premier League. Let's talk a little bit about Premier League because they are currently still Premier League. So let's talk very briefly about them. We normally have Premier League headlines. We're only going to go with one this week, which is Southampton have sacked their manager. It's a shame because I thought he was doing a great job. Looks like Nathan Jones is next up for them.
Yes,
they're going to be speaking to him.
Hey?
But I don't know if you remember, when he went to Stoke from Luton, he didn't do particularly well. He kind of struggled with Stoke. So hopefully he might struggle equally with Hampton. Can only assume that he's got a record with young players.
Good team, that Stoke.
Good
team,
team,
always look out for Stoke's results.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
Yeah.
They're doing all right at the moment.
Yeah.
So you came up with a little, not quiz, it's not quizzes, it's just a little exercise, I suppose, based on this as to who, we're going to go through the Premier League managers and see if we can predict who will still be in a job come the end of the season.
What, you mean who'll be in, you mean who'll be in the hot seat and who'll be hitting the street? Is that what you mean?
I like it. I was trying to come up with a little rhyme or pun, but I couldn't think of one, but I like it. Hot seat or on the street.
So yeah, let's start from the bottom of the league and work up then. So Nottingham Forest, Steve Thick-Eyelid Scooper.
Sleepy eyes. Of Sleepy Eyes himself.
Steve had a massive smoke Cooper. So what do we reckon?
I think he has had a massive smoke.
Yeah. Do you think he'll still be there at the end? Or do you think now
well, if you said a couple of weeks ago, I said no, but they just signed him on a new massive contract, haven't they? For some bizarre reason.
Yeah.
I'm going to still say no.
I'm going to go with no as well. I think that's just the amount of players they've brought in and money they've spent. I think if they're still bottom or still bottom 3 towards the end of the season, it'll be
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I think it's got in his favour is that they have been terrible, but they're only like 2 points away from getting out of it, aren't they? So there's a lot of teams in and around. You could win 2 games and be mid-table at the moment from the bottom. So like Leicester approved. Leicester have had a little run and they're suddenly mid-table. So anyway, yeah, go on. We both going no there then.
We're both going to say no. Okay,
Cooper
right.
is a no.
Hitting the streak. So Wolves. Do you know what? I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Julen Lopetegui. Julen Lopetegui. Julian.
Jules. Oh, Jules.
Yeah. Well, he'll still be there, surely. They've only just done.
Do you know what I think?
Mm.
Unless he's been paid a lot of money. Oh, I don't know.
I don't care, do you? It's Wolves.
It's
you know,
Wolves.
it's Wolves in the bottom 2.
Part of me thinks if he doesn't keep them out, is he going to want to do Championship next year? Having previously been Real Madrid Spain manager, then Championship Wolves manager, I don't think so. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he's on the street.
When are we saying this cut-off is? Because are we should we do this going into the last game of the season? Is that what we're going to do? Should we do that going into the last game of the season?
Yeah.
And then we've got a
all right.
benchmark, haven't we?
Yeah.
So are you saying yes? He's still in there?
I'm saying no. He's going to be gone.
All right. I'm going to say yes then, just for the sake of entertainment. Southampton. Well, we don't even know.
No, it's going to be Nathan Jones.
We'll ignore them because they haven't got Nathan Jones yet, have they? So
I think whoever it is, even if they do get Nathan Jones, that's potentially due to he's still a Championship level manager, so potentially going to stick with him even if he doesn't do well. Okay, next.
We'll stick a tick by Nathan Jones then. Just Gary O'Neill, Bournemouth.
I think a shame, but he won't be because he obviously isn't. I think if they're going to give him the full-time job, they would have done by now. Yeah. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, but I think he will be in a management position elsewhere.
Yes.
Because he looks like he's done a decent job.
You don't hear of the word interim in many other walks of life, do you? Other than in football managering.
No.
Interim manager. Everton. I think we probably need to speed up, don't we? Everton, Lampard.
I'm going to say no.
Yep, me too. No, I'm not. I'm going to disagree. I reckon they're going to stick with him. Yeah, they're going to go on a massive run. West Ham, Moyes. Yeah, he'll be there, won't he?
Yeah, he'll be there. Yeah. Yeah.
Leicester, Rodgers, tricky one, but they're back on the up now, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm going to say yeah.
Good evening, Unai Emery, Aston Villa.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had a good start.
Jesse Marsh.
No.
Leeds. No.
I'm going to go no.
I'm going to say
Two reasons.
Go on, him.
It just seems so wrong when you watch his interviews. I don't watch many interviews because they're generally dull affairs, aren't they? But when you I was watching him against who they beat the other day. 4-3 against Bournemouth. When they beat Bournemouth, it's no, come on, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to say no. He shouldn't be allowed to be.
I'm going to say yes. Thomas Frank, Brentford.
Yes. Yeah. Irrespective of what happens.
Palace.
Yep.
Yeah. Marco Silva, Fulham. He's got to be there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Right then, Clippity Klopp. Jurgen Klopp. What do you do, mate? What do you do?
Do you know what? I think it's a tricky one because obviously, I don't know if you've heard, but this week the Liverpool owners have suggested that they might be open to a takeover.
Yeah.
And a little bit like Thomas Tuchel-esque, who's to say a takeover won't come in with their own views on who should be manager? So I'm going to say no.
Oh, I like. I'm going to say yes then again for entertainment purposes.
Okay.
Harry Potter, Chelsea.
I'm going to say no. I don't think he will. I think he's having a bad spell. He looks a little bit like a fish out of water, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say no.
David Moyes to Man United-esque.
Yeah, a little bit. You're saying yes?
No, I'm going to go no as well.
Okay.
Roberto De Zerbi, Brighton.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going, he'll be there. Right, here we go then. Last 5. Ten Hag, Man United. I reckon he's going to be gone.
Do you?
Yeah,
I think he'll be there.
I reckon they'll just...
okay.
Yeah. Conte, Tottenham. Yeah, he'll be all right, won't he?
I don't think he will. I think he'll go. I think he'll walk.
What the fuck? Right.
I think he will. I think January will come. They won't give him any money because old Levy will be like, nah, sorry, mate, you spent too much in the last window, and I think he'll go, Mamma mia,
Yeah,
you're not giving me
probably.
enough money for no player.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be gone. I think he'll be off.
Fair enough. Eddie Howe, he's got to be a shoe-in
Yep.
for Newcastle, hasn't he? He's
100%.
staying there. He's done very well. And then Guardiola and Arteta, tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How low do you think Arteta could go before? How low can he go? Do you think before he can? Because I watched the thing today that where Gary Neville said that possibly they might not even still make top 4. Rubbish, obviously. But do you think if they didn't make top 4, do you reckon they might bin Arteta? I think they should do. If they lose it from this stage and don't get top 4,
Possibly.
you'd think they must be. They must be, and I still don't think they're going to win the league, but I think they're odds on for second, aren't they? Because everybody else is.
You'd think,
stall, aren't they?
And the way, I mean, I watched the Chelsea game. Well, I watched the second half, and they just look completely different, don't they, to the Arsenal we've seen in the last 10 years. They actually dominated the second half. They look like the ones that would score more.
I thought they were excellent, actually. I thought they were excellent
really
throughout
good,
that game.
Really good.
I thought there was a couple of little moments defensively, a little bit of a wobble, but generally very, very good.
Yeah. I can't see them finishing out the top 4 now. And I think with the games, I mean, as I said a few weeks ago, I think it's those away games against Liverpool, City, Tottenham. But you know, they've beaten Chelsea away, they've beaten Liverpool at home, they've beaten Tottenham at home. So
looking better, aren't they? They are looking better. They are looking solid. I still worry about their squad depth. I think they don't have a lot past that starting 11.
No, that's it. That's
But yeah, they do. That starting 11 does look very good, and I like young Saliba at the back.
Really
I think he looks very, very good. Very good player.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've gone for 8 out of 20 managers will lose their job between now and the end of the season. You've gone for 1, 2, 3, 4. You're slightly more optimistic than I am. 4 out of 12 will lose their job. If only we all had your rose-tinted glasses, Dan.
Yeah, it all change in a couple of weeks' time, couldn't it?
Could do.
You know, people like Patrick Vieira, if they ever go on a long beaten run, or a long getting beaten run, then he's someone that could be in danger. There were quite a few of them, really.
I think anyone below, even including Brighton, I think to a lesser degree, but even anyone that outside the top 6, other than Conte, who I don't think will be there, but outside the top 6, I think, like you say, if you have that run, suddenly get dragged in. You look, Bournemouth looks fairly comfortable a couple of weeks ago. Now they're 1 point above the Saints.
So I didn't realise that West Ham are 15th as well.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, do you know what happened on this day, which is the 8th of November, 2022? Do you know what happened on this day? League for Portsmouth. I don't have the year. I didn't even write the year down, but I think it's 2003, maybe.
Oh, to Pompey.
Yeah.
2003. So that was our first season.
Yeah.
So I reckon we were beating someone like Southampton at home or Man United at home.
You're beating somebody at home.
Liverpool.
Heavily.
Oh, heavily. Leeds.
6-1 on this day.
Loved it.
Do you know what? That's one of the few games that game and the Spurs at home I didn't go to that season when Berger apparently scored from about 45 yards.
2-0.
And I hadn't even. I probably had seen the highlights, but I watched them again today, courtesy of Portsmouth's forgotten goals. And was it Nigel Martin goal for Leeds? Because
I think so. Yeah.
It was shocking.
Yeah.
It was absolutely shocking. Gary O'Neill was kind of half volleyed from the edge of the box.
Yeah, that's not
pretty
great,
much straight at him.
Yeah.
And
I thought it took a deflection, didn't it? Didn't it take a deflection?
It took very slight deflection, but it still ended up in the middle of the goal. But yeah, there was another goal which was from the edge of the area, and I thought Nigel Martin should be saving that. England's Nigel Martin.
Yeah.
But anyway, 6-1. Them were the days, eh?
Very fun season, yeah. I remember celebrating the Man United win and the Southampton win, and those 2 goals, the 1-0 wins in each, I think was the most I've ever seen up to at that point in my life. the most I've ever seen Fratton Park go mental and people jumping on top of each other, that sort of thing, when we scored.
Yeah. Do you know what my highlight of that season was?
Was it me and you jumping up and headering the ball together?
Yeah, it was. That's exactly what it was. What we were what, 3 rows back in the north stand. Ball came out. I can't even remember who it was against. It possibly was against Man United, wasn't it?
Might have been, yeah, it was, yeah.
And the ball kind of spun up, didn't it? And it was
Well,
just
Norwich
kind of
rings
coming
a bell.
down. And most normal people would try and bat it back in, but I think we both had the same idea that that's a head, getting a head on that.
Yeah, on that one.
Pop out
Yeah.
the seat.
Yeah.
Nearly knocked each other out.
Yeah.
I
remember the
yeah,
days.
that was
I think it was
my
Norwich.
highlight that season.
I think it was Norwich. Norwich rings a bell for some reason. I don't
Yeah.
know why. Yeah.
I can't remember I really can't remember the game. I just remember the moment. I remember it so well, and it's just like I don't even know. I'm pretty sure I got something on it, but I'm sure you thought you got something on it as well. Maybe we both did.
Such happy times, eh?
Yeah, happy days.
Yeah,
happy days.
enjoyable days.
Anyway, that brings us to the end of this week's Eat My Goal. I've enjoyed it. I, for one, have enjoyed it. Hope you have too.
And you. And you.
And you.
He's enjoyed it. Look at his face.
Where am I?
I love the Eat the Goal podcast by Dan and Mike.
I love it so much. I watch and listen every week, every single week. Anyway, that does conclude. If you want to get in contact with us, please do so. Twitter at eatmygoal22, on the Gmail at eatmygoal22@gmail.com, or on Facebook, once again, eatmygoal22. That's us done for this week. You've kind of already done it, haven't you? You've done the Benjani.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah.
So see you next week. Bye.
Bye.